Best point guard in the arena that isn't playing anymore. Yeah, first, I'm Wofford. I have an unbelievable amount of respect for that program, how they play, what they do. Just really good program. You know, they've added a couple pieces. They're going to win a lot of games, and we knew that we were going to have to play very well to be successful today, and we did. We responded really, really well. Obviously made some changes, still in the process of kind of getting our feet under us with some of those changes and kind of a little different system and style, but it still goes back to some of our veterans, and they set the tone and tempo today, especially on the defensive end. Our intensity, our energy on defense, our activity on defense was really, really good. And then we controlled the defensive glass, which also helped. So great response from our guys. We've practiced better, and we usually play better when we do that. So, you know, proud of our guys. I thought Mike Durr, we put him on an island in there, and he responded well, because you can't really help down when the ball goes in the post with the way they can shoot the three. And a lot of times the guy guarding the ball, it was just, okay, you got him, because you can't really help off those guys. And I thought guys really rose to that challenge of playing one-on-one defense, both in the post and on the perimeter. So pleased with that, and we got a long way to go. We didn't get here overnight, not going to solve it overnight, but we took a good step today.
Coach, with what your team did tonight against a good team in Wofford, really controlling their perimeter shooting and defending their screens, what did you learn about your team tonight?
Well, you know, when we're and you know, you throw this word around, but when we're really committed, and that means times we're not committed, sometimes we play really hard. Like we played really hard against Boston College, but we didn't play. You know, we were out of position a little too much and tried to maybe do a little too much defensively. When we're really solid defensively, like we were today, we can be really good defensively. We can be a very good defensive team. We can keep the ball in front of us. We can form a wall around the ball, and that helps your rebounding as well. Because you have, at times, you know, 3 guards and sometimes 4 guys out there that can one-on-one guard the ball, so you don't need a lot of help, you know. In this game, you couldn't give a lot of help. In other games, you'll be able to be in the gaps a little more and help. But, and the physicality that they screen with, you know, you got to fight through those, and our guys did. We didn't hit and melt, which sometimes happens on screening action, and I thought that said a lot about the physicality that our guys know we need to play with. You know, we're not as big as we were 3 weeks ago, but we still got to play a physical, hard-nosed, gritty, grimy style of basketball, especially on the defensive end. And it's amazing when you do that, you know, you make some more shots as well.
You switched on some screens tonight, something that you don't normally do.
Yeah, we did. A lot of the ball screens with the 1 through 4 was our coverage today, and it won't be all the time, but today was to switch it. And I thought our guys, to do that, you have to have great communication. And communication isn't just calling it, it's listening as well. You cannot, I've said before, you cannot send a text message, switch. You actually have to verbally say it, all right? And that's not the strength of sometimes any 18 to 22-year-old. But we were great today. We really communicated well on defense. And I thought that, you know, with us being able to guard the ball, and the communication piece was really good.
I know the turnover margin's kind of pretty similar at 16-15 or something of that nature, but especially in the first half, you capitalized with 16 points to their 2 off the turnovers. Talk about limiting them to chances off the turnovers.
Yeah, you know, I thought there are a couple things you always got to look at, you know, when it comes to a box score. You know, the turnovers thing, I think we probably had 3 in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game. We also probably had 4 offensive fouls on screens and cuts. You know, so those aren't live ball turnovers, you know, and we've been emphasizing screening and helping other guys get open. So I'm going to live right now with a few illegal screens if need be. But the first half, we took care of the ball. We really did a good job of taking care of the ball, and because of that, you see what if we have good offensive possessions and take care of the basketball, we're just such a different team. We're such a different team. And we got to have a little more maturity there at the end of the game. I think maybe, but that's something. Again, we're not a finished product. We got a long way to go.
On a night when Justin scores 16 points, it looks like David and Quincy have very efficient nights. It's not a coincidence, right?
No, not a coincidence. Obviously, JB was tremendous in the first half of playing off those two guys' drives, and with those three guards now, we usually have three guards in at a time. Dawson, DC, and Quince, and then you sub in with X. You got guys that can get in the paint, and JB does a good job of playing off those drives, moving without the ball and getting in a good position. We threw some great passes. I thought David and LaQuincy played really, really well for us. They kind of controlled the game offensively and defensively. With Quince on Murphy, he's really good. He's the heartbeat of that team. And then Dave on Hoover, 4 of 11, 2 of 6 from the 3. So that's what we need. Our upperclassmen, those two guys in particular, gotta, as I said, kind of set the tone and tempo for how we play and the intensity and the intelligence that we play with.
Coach, I'm toying with the idea of this as a headline. Bulls win, too big, quick, and athletic. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but we're not that big anymore. We were a lot bigger. But our speed was effective today. Our speed was effective, and it becomes effective when you get the ball side to side, and now they're going from the help to trying to guard the ball. We were able to get into the paint. So our paint touches today were really good, and we got unselfish guys, so they were able to make some plays. And you saw, David was not himself the other night. He was banged up, his back. He was, didn't practice for 4 days, 4 days. And him and Quince are starting to get that connection again, which I think bodes well for us.
Coach, the confidence level tonight, at least from the tip, it looked like they were, really in sync.
Mm-hmm. So we're put in a tough situation, and we play those two games. The first game, not so much, because they played a lot of zone against us. But we were kind of half and half. We played half the game our traditional way, and the other half small. And sometimes if you're half-minded, you're not good at either one. And so we were able to get on the practice court and work on how we're going to play. And I think our guys are just gaining some confidence in that. Our footing isn't secure yet, but we took some big steps over the week. We were able to go Saturday and Sunday practice, and then Tuesday and Wednesday. So over the 4 practices that we had, we were able to get a little more secure in how we needed to play and where, we really got to, tighten up the role definitions right now, maybe more so than ever before because of the change that we have to make.
Huge amount of teaching moments there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things in talking with our guys, we have to do a better job. Sometimes you assume because they've, David and LaQuincy for sure, have logged minutes for us in different things. Well, they're in a whole new situation. So you still got to teach, you still got to coach, they got to be receptive to it. And I thought over the last week we've taken a big step in both those areas.
Coach, when you first came here, your MO is you're going to play physical. Everybody knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do you got to get the players to buy it, the referees got to get used to that. Are you finally happy with, how your players are playing, how the officials are letting you play?
I'm more happy with the players than the officials. No, I mean officials are. They got a hard job, especially with as strong. When we drive with a force. So yeah, I mean I thought that you had 3 really high level guys today, so I was fine with that. The biggest thing is our guys understand. There's again, it comes with maturity. There's moments where the physicality is really good, and then you got to also be aware of your surroundings and aware of the way the last couple calls have gone or whatever the case might be. And I think we're getting better at that.
Seeing how well the small ball lineup works tonight, is that something you're considering for future games or not yet?
No, I think as we move forward, you know, I think we got to get secure in that, and then if you need to make some adjustments, but you can't do both. You know what I mean? You can't say, okay, we're going to split time in that. We have to make a commitment, and that puts a lot of onus on those guards to help us out in some key areas. And I think rebounding is you know, one of them. David Collins gets 4 defensive rebounds. Zach gets 3 defensive rebounds. Justin Brown gets 3. Ray Sean gets 3. You know, we have to become a gang rebounding team right now. You know, where we get more and more guys with 3 and 4 than we're accustomed to having a guy with, you know, 12 or 15. And I think that's an area that, you know, we can continue to grow in.
Coach, a loss is never good, but it can be a good teaching tool. You had their undivided attention after IUPUI.
Yeah, we did, because we, you know, again, we didn't play well. And sometimes when coaches say that, they're degrading the team. The other team, they played great against us. They played their best game of the year. We didn't play well. And we let not making shots affect our defense, and it was a snowball effect. We were out of sorts the entire second half. We just were, and guys responded well. You know, guys responded well. You know, it wasn't who we are. I think our guys know that. You know, and then again, our mantra is the same thing. We just got to keep getting better, because when you're good enough, then all the stuff we want to get done will happen. We're not there yet, but we're working every day to get there.
There was one sequence in the second half at the start. Hugh got the steal and passed off to Zach, and he comes in off the dribble, makes a contested layup. Is it starting to click offensively for him to make those kind of plays?
Who, Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah, every day he's getting better. Every day he's getting better. Today was his birthday. We had a lot of family at the game, and he starts. I didn't start him because it was his birthday, but you know, he's getting in. He's starting to understand the work ethic it takes to be successful at this level, in terms of getting in extra shooting and extra instruction and extra film and all those things. You know, he's just scratching the surface. But yeah, I thought, you know, he was very efficient. Only took 4 shots, 3 assists. You know, he's got a chance to be really good for us the way we play. And you know, I was pleased with how he played today. You know, defensively he's getting better, starting to understand our system. It's hard sometimes as a redshirt, because he was hurt during the whole fall last year. So when we go with the 6 weeks of preseason training where we, you know, teach our defensive stuff, he wasn't practicing. So by the time he started practicing, he was on the scout team the whole time, and we're not really going over our defensive stuff. He's always running the best guard on the other team. So really, this is his first true year of learning our system, but he's making great strides for us.
Anything else for Coach?
Wofford's typically a good shooting team.
Yep.
But tonight you guys were a little bit better from 3. Was that just part of the game plan, or just?
Well, yeah, I always plan on us making a lot of 3s. We just shot. We got good shots. You know, we got good shots, and we shot them. I think someone mentioned the confidence. We shot them with confidence. You know, we rose up and shot them like we were supposed to. So that was good.
Very good.
All right, guys.